Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Cedric Sanders about the film Ambulance. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
It's pretty cool because obviously, you know, when you're probably younger, you want to be a storyteller, you want to be an actor. Obviously, you'll go where the opportunities are and everything, but It's pretty cool to be able to work on a movie where we know what this is. This is just a straight up kind of action film, right?
You know what you're getting into, you know what it is, and so let's just go.
And there's so much genre bending happening right now, but this is like you said, we know what this is.
Absolutely. Especially as Michael Bay. So we know what it is. We know what we know what he likes to do, and we like to think that he does. You know? So
Absolutely. What's going through your mind though? Because we know sometimes depending on the project, you know, what did you know about this project? Was it untitled Michael Bay project? Did you know Jake Gyllenhaal was attached? Like, what did you know about this project early on?
So yeah, that's a good question. What I learned about the project was, so when I got the email, usually it comes in the form of an email. It'll say the name of the movie. It did say Ambulance. It did say Michael Bay's directing it. It did based off of an old Danish film, Ambulance or something similar to that. And Jake Gyllenhaal was attached. There was another actor attached to play his brother at the time. And then I auditioned, I got cast. And then the next day I read that Yahya Abdul Mateen was cast now as the brother, which made me very excited because I am a fan of his work. So,
are you able to prepare yourself? So it sounds like you got a lot of information before, but sometimes that might not be the case, right? Sometimes you might not be told a lot of stuff and you have to go in for a tape. Are you prepared for the fact that it's kind of sporadic a little bit?
Yeah, because you have to be. Sometimes things are really quick and you get limited information and you find out everything you can. Like, you know, I can Google some stuff and see if there was a Deadline article or look up the producer or director and that kind of stuff. But this particular project, they sent the script, but they sent it right when I was about to do my tape because I was trying to get my tape done. Mm-hmm. So I didn't read it before I did it, and I didn't know how big the role was. So that was a whole nother exciting thing.
Yeah,
so
you have a nice role in that. It's one thing to be like in a Michael Bay film. I mean, you're in a Michael Bay film.
Yeah.
Can you So it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Can you prepare? Like, you can prepare as much as you can, right? Mm-hmm. But because the stakes are so high, I'm sure there's going to be kind of a lot of emotions kind of working on a project like this. Because, like you said, it is a Michael Bay film. There's a lot happening. Can you prepare as like you? I guess you. There's only so much you can prepare, Cedric.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because and Michael goes with what he's thinking too in that moment. He may change something. He may have a totally different idea. So don't get married to anything. Because that might change. But for me is I did my character work. I knew who Officer Mark was, where he grew up, where he went to school, why he wanted to become a cop, why the job's important to him. So as soon as I had all of that, it didn't really matter what was happening on set. The stuff could come at me. I knew what I wanted and I knew what I wanted to achieve. So that's what I did as an actor. So the other things that happen that might surprise me are pretty organic or really the moment because, you know, here we are.
What was the research involving like playing a cop? Did you have any kind of Zoom chats with cops? Did you just kind of watch like some cop documentaries or shows? Like, I'm just curious about that a little bit.
Well, no, because I know for this, I mean, I've played police officers and soldiers almost my entire career.
Okay.
So there was that, and I just knew what he wanted because no cop's the same way. It's like Cedric if he was a cop, or you know, in this case, Officer Mark. So, you know, I know cops carry a certain aura, or you know, things like that. But I just made it my own.
The funny thing too is I remember talking to an actor who was a cop for many years, and then he retired and became an actor.
Yeah.
And I asked him straight up. I'm like, there seems to be this kind of this whole like donuts for some reason seems to be always associated with cops in popular culture, right? Cops eating donuts. So I was like, it's blown out of proportion. He says, yeah, absolutely, it's blown out of proportion. And he says, he's like, the big thing is like I don't get is like you're in the public eye a lot, like while being a cop, depending on where you are in like New York City, let's say. Someone's gonna catch you eating a big jelly donut and
yeah. And I come to think of it, I don't see many cops eating donuts, not in real life.
No, I know, like, but he's like, think about it. With the age of social media, you eat a jelly donut on duty, you're in that uniform all day. It's over, he says. Social media, like cop jelly donut.
That's a good point.
I always found that interesting because I grew up watching The Simpsons, right? And I felt like that never left. Like cops and donuts, like never.
Stuck in there, just in there.
It was in like every episode. No, but it's exciting. So getting back to what we were saying, like we know what we're kind of getting into. This is the type of movie, that I think defines the film and cinema experience. Like this is like what I call a popcorn worthy movie. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is the Saturday night, go to the theater or watch it on demand when it's out or on video and just kind of have the lights dimmed, have the popcorn, just enjoy yourself. How cool is it to be able to kind of work on a project like that?
It's very cool because, this takes you back to the fun of movies, the thrill of movies, the whole thing of going to the movies to have an experience. And that is what Michael Bay does in this film, it's on demand now. Some people watching it at home. And personally, I wanted a lot of my family and friends to experience it on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just a whole different thing. It's very enjoyable. It'll be very enjoyable at home, but nothing will beat the big screen and the sound effects, just seeing it like that.
Did you ever see any movies growing up on like the day they were out in theaters? Like, did you ever go?
Ninja Turtles was the thing. So
for me, it was like the Spider-Man movies and everything. The best feeling ever is when something, because I know like you see all like the No Way Home like reaction, everyone's like shouting like they're at a movie, like they're at an NFL game, like that's different. I just love when you just hear like simultaneously like 100 people go like, whoa.
Yeah. Like, same thing. Yeah.
Or like sighing at the center, like, oh, you know what I mean? No, absolutely. No, it's really cool that you're able to do that. I mean, here's the thing too. The trailer was released for this. It's Michael Bay. For me, I'm a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. I watch every movie he's in. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. What was it like working with Jake Gyllenhaal on this project?
You know what? I didn't really get to work with him. I saw him a few times on set. Very nice. His energy is just great. You just feel his positive energy. But I saw him a few times, and I think there was really one or two times we were actually in the same space when they were calling action. Yeah. Because most of the time I'm not with them. So
is that like a misconception too? Where like, especially, I feel like that happens a lot in ensemble casts.
Oh,
I've seen interviews where people are like, what was it like working with this guy? He's like, we had like 0 days on set together.
Right. I've actually never met them or talked to them before.
I saw a podcast where that was like, I felt like it was someone's like talking point where they were excited to like ask that guest about this project that they worked on because they worked with his favorite actor. And the podcaster was like, I need to ask, like, he's my favorite actor. We watch everything. What was it like working with him?
Yeah.
And the guest was like, I didn't really cross paths with him at all.
Oh. I got so many messages about that, about Jake, messages from all the ladies I know about Yaya.
Well, I didn't really read. I didn't phrase that because I've seen the movie. Obviously, I know you don't have scenes of it. I didn't phrase that question properly. I meant like, what's it like to be like on a Jake Gyllenhaal project? Because he's the type of actor too that anytime he's in a movie, like I have a lot of directors like that too, right? Cedric, like I'm in. You know what I mean? Like I'll watch it. So I was just my question was more like, what was it like working on a project with it? Like that's he's in. Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in too. It's cool. I mean, that's the first thing I was saying there. I'm in this movie, with Jake Gyllenhaal, because he's Jake Gyllenhaal. So
you're a storyteller. That's what you do.
Yeah.
What excites Cedric Sanders about storytelling?
What excites me about storytelling is the experience that I get to have
Yep.
telling the story, and the experience that others get to have listening to me tell that story.
It's one of the best
It's just-
answers. Yep.
Yeah,
That's one of the best answers, because that's what it is, right? It's like the storytellers, and then the storytellers are disseminating the content to the audience, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think people forget that. Like, it's all about connections, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And then that's how you separate. You know, some actors can be indulgent or just acting for themselves, and that's part of it. You can, but it's sharing. That's what it is.
Yep.
It's touching other people. That's why I do it. It's giving other people an experience. So yeah.
Before we wrap up, when they get to watch Ambulance, takeaway wise, I mean, we established, we know what we're getting in. It's a fun ride. Buckle up, watch it. Any other takeaways specifically when they get to watch a film?
Yeah, this movie, this particular film has some heart, and it touches a few things, and family, and so I think you may even shed a tear during the movie. So yeah,
I think with a lot of movies, like every movie, I feel like is naturally like genre bending now because of what you just said, right? Because it's an action movie, but it's gonna have that kind of drama, shed a tear moment in it. Like I feel like we aim to make movies that just throw so many emotions at people. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
yeah, absolutely.
And we get that with this film. Cedric, this was a blast. Thank you so much for coming on Popternative.
So much, man. I love talking to you and your excitement about the film. That's amazing.
Well, if we're not excited, like I get that a lot, so thank you. But like when we're not excited, like what are we doing here? Like what's the point?
Exactly. I like that.
So it's available on it's available on demand. They can check that out. Social media, could they follow you like on Instagram to keep up to date with everything?
At Mr. Cedric Sanders.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes, Popternative.com for other content as well. Until next time, this is Cedric Sanders and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.